Hello everyone, Manithral here, and welcome to a little bit of another RuneFest video. I kind of want to get these kind of videos in before, RuneFest is kind of long forgotten about. And sadly to say, I think this RuneFest is going to be forgotten about quite easily. Today's video is going to be relatively short. I did have a different video planned for today. I was trying a different recording method, but just didn't quite work. So figured I still want to get you guys something, and I also wanted to have a good message behind it, and I thought nothing better than to actually talk about RuneFest a little bit, because, well, to me there was something that was rather actually disappointing about it, and I found that this year's RuneFest was kind of lackluster. It was good. It had a lot of good information to it. Don't get me wrong. But it just seemed like there was a lot left to be desired. And I think the biggest mistake they made going into this RuneFest was, especially like for reveals and announcements, the event itself was probably amazing and fun and everything like that. I didn't go this year. I do plan on going next year. And I'll probably record some stuff while I'm there next year. This way I can, show you guys some stuff. What you guys can expect if you actually make it to RuneFest. Those kind of things. Not to mention I'm probably going to be a little excited for, going on my first major trip like that to RuneFest. But this year it just seemed like everything that was kind of a big update, we already knew is coming. Like the stuff they didn't really talk too much about, and that was like the mining and smithing rework. They didn't really talk about that because we pretty much know everything to expect from that. And they didn't really talk about the bank rework because, well, we already really know about the bank rework. Which is kind of disappointing in my thought because, well, those are probably going to be the biggest two updates of the year. Well, that we know of. And the thing that, I like the fact that the stuff they discussed, it was supposed to be stuff that's going to be happening within the next, probably 5 to 6 months at most. Maybe some that might take a little bit longer, like the mining and smithing rework. Ooh, excuse me. But most things are supposed to be, out, relatively kind of soon. Which, it's kind of nice, this way we know what to expect. But one thing I've always come to expect from RuneFest is an announcement of something big, something huge, something we can all get hyped for, we can all be excited for, and this year they didn't have that. There's some things to really look forward to be kind of excited about, but there's nothing that really, at least to me, leapt off the pages for a major hype. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff, don't get me wrong, I'm looking forward to the safe cracking, deep sea fishing, I'm looking forward to the Dimension of the Damned, I'm looking, mining, smithing, a whole bunch of stuff. But it didn't leave me with that wow of for instance, last year, when they mentioned the 3 expansions and they didn't want to give much detail into them. Or how about the time when they mentioned Invention for the first time? There's a lot of big chunks that they used to do. Which is why, I understand they don't want to have it so people are getting their hopes up. I know that was, it seems like one of their major concerns. And while I understand that, at the same time, you gotta have something to really pizzazz, with a lot of pizzazz, a lot of wow to it, because otherwise you're kind of just leaving everybody kind of hanging. So I think one thing they should be doing... Sorry if I'm looking off to the side. I'm trying to figure out why the game completely froze. For whatever reason, the connection just randomly dropped. There we go. I want to get my range XP. But yeah, so it's not that RuneFest was bad. It's not that the updates are bad. I think all the updates are needed that they mentioned are really good. But I think one thing they should try to keep in mind for future references, try to have it that they announce one big event, or one big release per year. I mean, okay, so we don't need 3 expansions per year. 3 expansions, that is too much. I mean, when you look at most games have one big expansion maybe every 1 to 2 years. So if they do one expansion, every year, that would be fantastic. I mean, that'd be more reasonable, and they could have the full year to work on it, release it around November/December time. This way they have plenty of time to work on it. I think that would be in their best interest to do that. This way, the fans are getting something. And I know a whole year, that's an entirely long time. I mean, if they finish it earlier than a year, that's fine. It's just this way they give themselves plenty of time to work on it. It's something that, something comes up, they can work on something else in the meantime. But it gives them that opportunity to keep going, keep working on stuff in the meantime. But at the same time, it gives the players and the fans a whole bunch of something to really look forward to that year. Other than, maybe the little updates that they might have thought that, well, maybe not as appealing as the huge one. But I mean, I'm sure you guys noticed already too, there's also the updates that seem like they're nothing, but are actually huge. So I mean, like, everybody has their moments like that. Like, for me, Memorial of Gothics, I think that was a fantastic update, one of the best of the year. Another one for me was the Skybox features. And I know I don't use them all the time, but that's mostly because unless I'm going to be on for an extended period of time, I'm not overly concerned about changing my Skybox all the time because, well, it's kind of inconvenient to have to keep changing it every so often. Every single time I log in or every time I log out. And it's just like, well, I'd rather just be able to change it and then not have to worry about it. But alas, that is not, able to be done. So it kind of hurts things a little bit with that. That's the only downfall to me with that release, was the fact that you can't just have it saved. That's all. I mean, an auto rotation, yeah, that'd be nice, but yeah, I mean, overall it was pretty good. So I mean, like, these unexpected updates, they can be really good, but at the same time, there didn't seem to be a lot of hype this year, and which is a little bit disappointing if you're watching the stream. Now, if you actually were at RuneFest, there's a lot more going on, a lot more interesting things going on than just the reveals and just combat showcase, skill showcase. There's a lot more going on than just that. So I mean, if you're there, yeah, it was still fantastic. But if you don't get to go, what you're really looking for is that one big, huge reveal. And this year it didn't have that. And it was just kind of disappointing in that regard. But before I keep rambling on too much about RuneFest, because this is pretty much the extent of that I'm going to be talking about RuneFest, unless you know something that you guys want to actually discuss about it. But I just think that was the kind of biggest thing that's actually lacking from that. It was a good RuneFest, it's just kind of lacking. So, let me know what you guys think. If you guys want, more stuff about RuneFest, I'm probably actually going to be done talking about RuneFest for a while. Unless something comes up, I might mention that RuneFest is involved, or it was mentioned at RuneFest. I might do something like that, but I'm probably not going to be doing any more episodes on RuneFest. But today's is probably going to be the last one. But I felt like it was necessary to kind of get that out there because, maybe Jaggets will see that and be like, hey, he has a point. You know, and the subscribers, the viewers, you know, they have a point. You know, one thing I will give them credit for, they are really looking into, you know, what makes people happy and unhappy lately, and they've been doing really good with that, and I hope they keep that up. Because they don't want to make the game too easy, and they've actually already said they're not planning on doing that, so that's really good. But you just got to make it so it's a little bit more interesting. And I did want to say, make an announcement too. I'm probably going to be changing the way I do some of the update / patch note videos. Not to a huge extent, but I've noticed, like, you know, some updates are pretty big, and it takes a long time to fully explore, to fully show you guys what's all available in certain updates. So whenever it's going to be a big update, you know, I'll let you guys know in advance, you know, well, not in advance, but during that update video, that it's going to be a quick summarize of it, and then there will be more content, you know, throughout the week dealing with that update itself. This way I'm not rushing through the content, this way I'm not skipping stuff over the content, and this way I can actually try to fully deliver as much information as possible about the new update. Now, if it's a smaller update, let's say like Invention Batch 2, well, that actually wasn't that small of an update, but let's say, oh, I don't know, let's say Balthazar's Big Raffle. Let's say that's, you know, the update for the week. That's going to be a one-shot video. Well, let's say, you know, an update like, you know, the Lost Grove. There's actually a lot to be had there, a lot to go over. So I'm probably going to do more information on the Lost Grove because I want to go more in depth on that. Because there actually is more about it. And I want to start doing weekly reviews on updates. So I'm probably going to be doing once a week, you know, I'll have a Hardcore Iron Man update video, and then also tied in with it is going to be a review of the previous week's or that week's update. So, for instance, this weekend, probably on Saturday or Sunday, probably Sunday, that's when I like to do the Hardcore Iron Man video. This way I have a little bit of the weekend to go through and do some of that. I'll probably have, well, actually it'll probably come out, yeah, Sunday. Yeah, it'll come out Sunday. So, you know, I'll have a Hardcore Iron Man update plus a, you know, update review. This way you guys can get more of a grasp as to what's going on with these different types of updates. This way I can go more in depth, more talking about, you know, what was all going on, maybe show you guys some more stuff. Because I didn't really show you guys much with the new Distraction and Diversion, which is actually pretty good, pretty simple, kind of a pain, but pretty simple. And there's a lot to actually be said about this update that I feel like I said, that I need to do. And then also, since there is new Slayer mobs in there, I do actually want to experiment with battling them a little bit. This way I can give you guys potentially some methods into fighting them. So this weekend is when I'll do the Lost Grove / Hardcore Iron Man, but after that it'll probably be the next day or the couple days after the update. That's when I'll start showing stuff, you know, after this one. So next week, whatever the first release is going to be, you know, the next day I'll go, I might have to go into more in depth to show you guys and really pick apart the whole content. This way nothing's left out, nothing is, you know, rushed over, everything is there. So that's my personal goal, because I want to bring you guys as much as I possibly can from these. So, but that'll do it for this video. Mostly about the RuneFest hype and kind of lackluster. So thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, later guys.